Cool. What's good? It's your girl Tia. Welcome back to the SOS podcast, and we're here with episode 6. And today I have a special guest. This is one of my good friends. Someone who's like a brother. Been knowing him since elementary school. So
Jesus Christ,
here's my guest.
it has been that long, hasn't it?
Yes,
What's up, y'all? Caleb. I'll plug my social media at the end. But yeah, it's elementary. It's definitely been. It's been some years. It's been. Yeah. If y'all pull up the yearbook, you will see it both of us. So it's definitely like that. It's definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So tell them who you are. Tell them some. Hold on. Is it out? Yeah.
Someone was calling my phone. I'm sorry. I'm Caleb.
You good?
I go to school in Georgia Southwest State University. I'm a psychology major with a minor in art. I don't know what to tell you. I wear beanies, sweatpants, and hoodies all day. I slides. I'm just living.
That's good. It's good to be alive.
Always good to be alive.
Yes, but today we're going to be talking about self-realignment. We're going to be talking about how to get in tune with our higher selves, how to connect with ourselves truly. So, what is self-realignment? To me, what is self-realignment is basically like if you're feeling out of whack or you're feeling down or something like that, focusing your inner thought, your energy on something positive to get yourself back together. So what you think about self-realignment?
I looked up, I'm a psychology major, so I looked up both definitions in psychology terms. Self-alignment and self-realignment are kind of the same, but two different things. But I feel like self-realignment is you basically seeing that you aren't where you want to be in life and you align yourself to be where you want to be. I see it as an act to getting back to the correct way that you want to be.
Okay. So I got a question then, since you said the fact of not being where you want to be. How do you know that you're not where you want to be? How do you know?
You can know.
Personally.
Me personally. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I feel like me personally, I realized I wasn't where. Well, I'm the program I'm in. We had to talk about realignment before, like it was like last fall, my first fall, and it really made sense to me because it's like when you're realigned, when you start align with yourself so well, you know when things are off. So I feel like realignment comes in a lot of forms and a lot of shapes, but it for everyone is different, of course. But for me, it's like I could tell that I was more aggressive or more like I was dealing with a lot of people's stuff I shouldn't have been dealing with, and I was more passive towards like situations I shouldn't have been passive towards, and I saw myself becoming more depressed or like more. I was irritated a lot easier. My patience was starting to dwindle, and I was more like in a different headspace than I should have been, and I had to figure out why. And I started to like find like relying within myself of like certain things. Like if this would would throw me off, I'm like, why is this throwing me off? And I'd figure out why it's like this and this, that, and the third. So realignment, that's how I find out I was like not realigned or not aligned.
Becoming more self-aware. Which was episode 2, right? Here we go. But for me, self-realignment is basically like, or how do I know that I'm out of line or whatever, is when if I don't really feel happy about a situation, or if I wake up and I'm not really feeling very happy about something, then it's like, why? Like I want to evaluate why I'm not feeling that way. For one, like you said, like you got to find out the root. And one thing that I've learned to do is to let go of things that's not serving me. So if it's not helping me and it's hurt, or if it's hurting me, obviously if it's hurting you, let it go. But even if it's not doing anything to you and it's like just some excess energy, let it go. Because you can be putting that energy into something else. So really just evaluating the way that I like to disperse my energy. Like who I give my energy to, what I give my energy to. That's how I kind of pay attention to be more aligned. So that was like the intro, whatever, for
Very good.
self alignment. So, what are some benefits for self alignment? For me, I feel like it's like you kind of know that your life is meaningful and you have purpose no matter what happens.
Right.
So it's like a thing of, I know that I have a purpose. I'm gonna fulfill my purpose. Anything stopping me from completing my purpose, I gotta let it go.
Right.
And everything that you do, you gotta move with intentions. That's another thing. Like, you gotta know what you're doing. Even on this call right now, we gotta know exactly what we're doing. Moving with intentions. Right. Everything needs to have intention. So those are just a few benefits on my end. So what do you have as far as benefits of being self-aligned? Realigned.
Benefits of being self-aligned, realigned. I feel like benefits of that is like you know yourself better. You're more aware, like you said, episode 2, you're more self-aware of why you're here and why you're doing what you're doing. Like me as an RA on my campus that I am at, I knew I wanted to do it. And then I found out the purpose, when I got myself realigned, my purpose I wanted to do it was because I know I wanted to help others. I know I wanted to be an example for others that want to be, like one of my residents said, oh yeah, I'm definitely cool being, definitely cool being an RL for the next cohort of Brotherhood. And I was like, I respect that. And I started like, as I had to, that's how I was for my RL. And so it's like, I feel like benefits is like, of course, knowing yourself better, you're more energetic, you're not as depressed, you're more willing to do stuff. And it's so many ways that like it can benefit you. So it's like you're calmer, and there's all these other factors of how realignment can like affect you. And then like how it's like all of it's positive. If it's ever negative, then you aren't realigned.
Right. I think it's more like a certain, like, say if you're going through something and you're more realigned, it's like you see a purpose in this, or you can learn a lesson from it. So even if you feel like you're suffering, you're learning some type of lesson behind it. So everything it gives you more of a positive outlook on life, for sure. So I got this quote. It says, when you live from your physical self, you're easily swayed by the physical world because you don't have much internal strength. But what I get from that quote is like, when you're so in tune with just the physical things, you're very easily influenced. Like someone's like, oh yeah, let's go get this car or whatever, then you go get it, because it's the outside world is very easily influenced. You don't have no internal strength, you don't have boundaries, you don't know how to set those boundaries, you don't know a whole lot about yourself. So you're letting other people lead you instead of being a leader. So you have to be a leader within yourself. That's how I take that quote. So what do you get from?
I get from that quote. I agree with what you said. I get the same thing. If you're so with the physical and not the inside or spiritual, as a lot of people will call it, side of yourself, you're a lot more influenced. Like, let's go get alcohol. Like we don't have there's nothing to do. I just want to drink. Like you don't have to do that and stuff like that. Or let's go smoke or this, that, and the third. When you're so okay with fulfilling the physical side of yourself, and then you're more susceptible to do stuff that your spiritual self wouldn't want you to do. And it's like it's things like masturbation or this, that, and the third. Like a constant unhealthy habit, unhealthy amount of a habit can be another way of like you knowing that you're not aligned. So it's like stuff like that, and that's what I get from that quote.
Going back to being self-aware. So some things that I would say, like some of the things that I got written down is like when you kind of going back to like intentions, you know your intentions, you know your desires, and you know things like I feel like you have a knowledge, but sometimes you have to unlock that next level. And when you align yourself with who you are spiritually, more than just physical, because you can know who you are physically. Obviously, you look at yourself every day, you know who you are. But once it becomes a spiritual thing, you unlock this new level of like creativity. I think you can be more you get more inspired too, like not on like a bad level, like you get inspired like by the smallest things, and it inspires you to be better, and your intuition improves too. Your mind isn't as clouded. Like if you're taking in everybody's opinion, I feel like you can kind of lose yourself mentally. I think that is a big thing. And I think I kind of done did that before, kind of taking in other people's opinions about me, and then you not knowing what to think, or you have so many different things going on in your head. It gives you a very confusing. I don't know. It makes you very confused, and you don't know what to do. But that's when you gotta kind of pull yourself out of that, even if it's very uncomfortable, because obviously it's gonna be uncomfortable to change yourself, to notice those things that you do need to change. It's uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable change, but as long as you're willing to put in that work for it, I think that it can happen. Going back to last week's episode, we talked about mindset. Your mindset is a big thing as well. Like making sure that you are aware of your thoughts. Like, I don't think people really realize how your thoughts really do pay attention. Like, you gotta pay attention to your thoughts, because if you don't, then you're gonna be doing some crazy stuff without even realizing. And you're also gonna speak some crazy things as well. So that leads us into our next topic that we're gonna be talking about, which is manifestation. All right, wait, hold on. So I might edit this part out though, but should we stop it? Should we stop it or just keep going?
I mean, it's up to you.
I don't know, cause like, well, I feel like that was a smooth transition.
I was like, listen, that was I was like, good God. I was like, I don't know if she had this written down or what she had, but this was beautiful. I was fine with it. I was A-okay.
All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna keep it moving. We'll talk about manifestation then. All right, so manifestation. A lot of people talk about manifest your future. They talk about, oh, let's do this to manifest. You probably done seen 1,000 TikToks talking about manifestation. But to me, manifestation is a mental thing. It's a physical thing. Sometimes you got to make that sacrifice. You have to, when you want something, you got to put in the work for it, or else it doesn't come. Like, you can't just say, oh, I want this AMG Benz, but you ain't going to work. You don't have any type of income. Like, you gotta put in the work. You gotta make those sacrifices. You know you want an A on that test.
Gotta study.
You know you ain't been studying for it. You gotta study for it.
It's simple as that.
You gotta put in the work. So, manifestation. What does it mean to you to manifest?
The power of manifestation. I feel like I look at the definition, of course. The definition is the ability to create your reality by setting your intentions and believing in it. And the intentions and believing in it part really sticks out, because you can't have an intention and then not believe in what you want to do with your own life. Like, if I know that, like you said, if I know I want an A on this, my intention is to get an A on this test, and I believe that I can do it, but I still have to put the work in to do it. There's no manifestation without work. There's no possible way to manifest anything into your life if you're not working. Like, first car, new car, anything like that. But if you're not, like I say, not going to work, or new PC setup, you're not doing anything to find what you want to do, or you're not talking to the people you need to talk to see what you need to upgrade about your PC. I feel like the power of manifestation is like, it's like the internal growth you have for what you want to do in life. If you don't have the power of manifestation by yourself, then you're not doing anything for the power of manifestation. Like, then what are you manifesting? You're not manifesting anything. You're more or less letting. You're just saying your words have no action. You're just speaking. You're speaking into existence. Speaking it into existence, but not existing. What you're saying. You're not. You know, it's like.
Yeah, it's like you saying, you're just talking. Really, that's what I see it as. You're just talking. You're not putting in any work towards it. So it's just another sentence that comes out your mouth. You may want it to happen, but do you have the intention?
Are you putting in the work to make that happen? Like, you can't.
Right, and you have to be patient.
You have to be patient. Patience is also a very important. Patience is a virtue, and it definitely is. Being patient, you can't want to manifest and not be patient. And not everything comes immediately. Of course, some things do. Some things like, I really believe I get an A on this test. You get the results back immediately. You got an A. That's small things, but things like plans that's like 5-10 years down the road. You can't expect to manifest and it starts immediately, because that's not how it works. Manifestation is
You can put in the work.
You put in the work
immediately.
That's why it's 5.
But you
can manifest for 5 to 10 years, but for those 5 to 10 years, you still got to put in work. Because if you're not, you're just talking.
You can't give up on it. You gotta move in faith and not fear. You gotta make sure that like it is very. You gotta believe it. Like you said, you gotta believe it. And you also gotta put in that work, and you gotta be patient. It's a formula.
It's definitely an equation for this. It's definitely an equation for what you want to do in life. You can't just manifestation here. Like, it's not how it works. You're not.
Yes. You will never. Well, I ain't gonna say you won't get it, but it will take a toll on you mentally if you expect it to happen right then and there.
Your mental starts, and that can also lead, like we said earlier, really being unaligned. That can all that not having that patience for manifestation to grow leads to you being unaligned, and now you're now you're not patient. Now you think this should go this way. Now you're thinking this should go that way, and this stuff like that. So it's like manifestation is the root of a lot of things.
Right, and you also got to realize that even in manifesting something, the success is never linear. Like you will never like. A lot of people that are successful, they didn't have a one-track path. Some people were lucky enough that they did, but you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have those moments where it feels like it's going nowhere, but you still got to keep pushing, because even in those moments, like, you learn so much. Even if it may be a failure, it's still a lesson in some type of way. You learn something from it. You know what not to do again.
Yep.
And you have to be clear about what are you manifesting too. Like, you got to really be intentional about the manifestation. Like, don't just say, oh, I want a house. You can get a house, but it may not be the house that you want. Like, whatever it is, be specific about what you want. Be very clear about your goals. Like, sometimes if it's something dealing with the relationship, making sure that you say the things that you want, because you can just say, oh yeah, I want a relationship, and it'd be the worst relationship that you ever been in. Make sure it's very clear on what you do.
Yep. Have to be.
And some people, they do this thing where they like to write down their intentions, write down their manifestations. And I think that it's a good thing to do, because it kind of lets you see what you want to accomplish. It lets you, for me, I can say, looking at it, I can check it off as I do it. Like right now, I have this whole thing in my notes, like all the things I want to accomplish in life. And as I'm doing them, I'm checking them off. And that kind of gives me a moment to celebrate those small accomplishments, because it's working towards
the little things matter, especially in manifestation.
Yes, they do.
Especially in manifestation,
like
the small things lead to what you want to do. They're all steps. Nothing is, you're not about to take this huge leap of faith and be successful. Like, of course, you take a risk, and risk happen in life, but you can't just be like, this is what I want, and I'm gonna get it. And like, but then where are you going to get it? You have to take those smaller steps to get where you want to get in life. Let's say you try to start a business. Your first sale could be the smallest thing, and you keep going up. Your first sale, now you have people that's interested. Now you have people that there are other people talking to other people. Now you better first launch your first set. Like, that's like 4 steps you have into your like 10-step plan, and it's going because you're actually working towards what you want to do.
And you gotta expect that plateau too. Like, expecting that
you can't expect a straight line. You can't expect a straight line,
right? It may be up 1 minute, you may go down, and
you might flatten a little bit, spike up, and go back down. Listen,
it's a part of life, and that's a part of growth. It is a big part of growth once you realize that, like, you gotta actually, but you gotta want it. You gotta want too.
You gotta want it.
You gotta want it. If you don't want it,
when it said setting your intentions and believing in it, if you're not believing,
yes, it is not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Sorry. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, it happened, but you may not. Even if it do happen, you ain't gonna appreciate it the same way. Because if we were given everything that we want right now, would you appreciate it? Being honest.
If I was given everything I wanted right now,
everything that you've ever wanted in life, would you appreciate it?
I don't know. Like, let's be for real. Like, does anyone really know? Like, anyone can say yes, but What do you mean?
I don't think
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think I would. As a college student,
as a college
I don't think that I would.
As a college student,
If I wouldn't appreciate it and take care of it the same way because I don't know the true value behind it.
There is nothing for me to wait upon happening. There is nothing happened, nothing moved, nothing shifted this way. Just like example, Keith Leaf on TikTok. Man went from fighting in MMA to things happening in his personal life. Then he picked up TikTok, started doing food reviews, and his life moved in different ways. You don't have a set path for anything you want to do. His ultimate plan could be MMA, but this right here is just a stop to get where he wants to be, and it's like he's growing, and now he's moved to a different house and stuff like this. You can't just expect to get everything right now, because what value is that behind everything you got?
Right, like there's like if I was to get everything that I want, I don't think I would.
I don't think,
and
like,
it's
no. I don't think the small things that happen to get that aren't gonna feel as special when I get it. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta get I gotta get the degree first because I feel like
first. You know,
that's
one step. I gotta graduate.
If I don't,
graduate.
Right, and then I wanna go get my interview. I want to do everything and me feel like I done did something. I feel like it came to me easy, so yeah, I can get
I want the pressure of having to go to an interview and having to wait for results. Because it shows that you want what you're trying to do.
It builds character.
Character development.
I feel like I wouldn't have as much character if I just got
everything I wanted. Like if I was just one of those kids that was spoiled and got what they wanted as they pleased when they pleased, stuff like that. Now they're in college thinking they're privileged. And when things go their way, they cry. Like I had this happen to someone over here where I go recently. She thought she was so high and mighty, and then got fired. And my residents were just like me. I that's why they put on my hallway. And then she was bragging about her phone. And he was like, "You're privileged," and she want people that's like, "No, I'm not. This, that," and trying everybody to prove that they're not privileged. But you trying to prove that you're not privileged is showing exactly that you're privileged, because everyone's privileged some type of way. Just because you have all of this, that, and third, and was able to get what you want whenever you want it, and you know the value. You don't know the value behind anything, or you didn't manifest this or manifest that. And other people that have, then it makes it look like. Then it's like, why are you even? What do you need that for? Why do you have that? Why do you need that? It's stuff like that. So like it just makes it makes people that actually believe in manifestation and taking a long route and going stuff like that. Versus people that's just like consistently get what they want when they want. It's like, you don't deserve anything. Like everything you have, you don't deserve because you work for none of it. So it just makes it.
I can agree with that to a certain extent. Some people, you may be privileged, but they're also taught the value of.
There are some. I can't say that. I can't.
You can be fortunate enough to have
know
a family
that
supports you and things of that nature. Yet they teach you the value of things.
Right.
So that's the difference.
Right.
Some people don't
know that value.
The value of things.
Like for me personally, I grew up being privileged enough not to have a strict parent. Did I do anything with my freedom? No. But I realized that not everyone had the same freedom I had. Like if I wanted to go to the scan ring, my mom was like, "Sure, I'll take you, just be safe." Not everyone had that privilege like I had. So it's like I realized that I was privileged in that way, and realized that now I realize that I see how I was privileged, and I see that I had this amount of freedom, and see people that haven't. So it's like you can tell the difference between you and like people that's privileged and don't know it, and people that's privileged and do know it, and like how they both of them operate. So
and they value. Some people value. I feel like
have to.
To a certain extent, I'm privileged enough to have people that support me, that support the things that I do, no matter what it is. They support me. So appreciating the value behind that's important too. Going back to, I'm just tying in all the episodes today. Going back to core values.
That's a big episode 6 going crazy. Stop playing.
But core values, like when you are taught those things, like it really does set you apart from the next
shows
person.
You that you know how to operate. It shows you that you actually have values. Like I have core values. Like I believe. Like I tell people all the time. They were like, I have female friends that be like, why don't you never like I could be coming from a party or something like that, and they were like, why you always walking us home like that? I was like, my moral values will not let me allow a female that I care about to walk home alone, especially at night. It's just not something I can do. Like During the day, sure. If you're with your friends, sure. But if you're alone, then there's no reason for me to let you just walk away.
That's a good value to have, but you gotta pay attention to stuff like that. Also, with manifestation, you gotta be thankful. Be thankful for what you do have,
what you did manifest.
Because, like, even if it's like whatever you got right now in front of you, you gotta be thankful for that. It may not be a whole lot, but it's still something more. It's more than what the next person may have. So you gotta be thankful, because how are you ready for the next level of things if you're not showing you're not being thankful for what you have, like, right now? Like, it don't work that way. Because it's like you wanting say if you got a older vehicle right now, but you want a brand new car. You can't. You have to be thankful for what it is. You gotta take care of it. You gotta take care of it. And, like, whatever it is you receive, take it as a gift. Whatever it is, take it as a gift. Don't, like, everything don't come at one time. Obviously, if it won't come. Everything comes. It won't come at one time. It comes in its own season, and you just gotta be prepared and be thankful for all of that stuff. And you have to I'm reading right now, but you have to, when it comes down to a point of manifestation, you have to let go of thinking something won't happen. Right. Just because it ain't happened, you manifested something. You've been manifesting this for a month and ain't nothing happened. Keep going. Keep manifesting. Keep it going, because the moment that you stop thinking that it's gonna happen, it's gonna stop happening. It's almost like everything is coming in its own path or whatever. You got all these different. And you put up that barrier, and it's coming, and then you stop it because you say, "Oh, it ain't gonna happen. Oh, never happen. It's never gonna happen." You gotta watch what you say. First of all, you gotta watch what you think, because watch what you think, watch what you say. Watch what you say. They become your actions or whatever. Your actions become your habits. Your habits become your destiny. You have to be careful about those thoughts. And you got to be, manifesting is a very big thing. Checking your energy, making sure your energy is right before you manifest. Always. You can't just, you can't have a bad day
and think you about to manifest.
And wanting, yes, you're going to manifest the wrong energy. You're going to attract the wrong thing trying to manifest while you're angry. Another thing I would think is, like, to meditate. For me, I would say meditating. Say if you just got a lot going on, meditating, then manifest, or doing a meditation for manifesting and then get into manifesting. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's a very interesting setup, the way that some people manifest. Trusting that process. Like, you got to trust the process with it. I think that's pretty much what I have for manifesting. Do you have anything?
No, I fully agree. I fully agree. And as you was talking, I feel like I was like, this is a good place to end, because there is nothing else that can really be said. Of course, if y'all have something else y'all want to add, or y'all think differently, of course, we're always open to hear it. Like, I'm always down for a debate. Mm-hmm. I don't argue. Two different things. But yeah,
debating is dope.
Yeah, I love a good debate. But I feel like we really hit the nail on the head. Like, you can't manifest. You can't be unaligned and try to manifest, and you can't manifest until you're aligned. So, really,
you can't want a spiritual, like, you gotta. It's a big thing. It's like a pyramid in a way. You can't be all wrong spiritually and internally and want something positive. Right. Like, you gotta fix yourself first, fix your energy, and then go in.
Your energy.
You gotta make sure.
Yeah, your energy is important, especially in anything you try to do. Realignment, manifestation, all of that. You have to have good energy to be able to do anything. Like, if your energy is bad, you're gonna attract the wrong things. You're gonna manifest the wrong things. You're gonna knock yourself off alignment. Having bad energy and, like, trying to be positive. You have to cleanse that negative energy that you have before you try to just start something new or do something like that. So,
right. So thank you, Caleb. I appreciate you for coming on.
Always, always, always. Anytime.
So yes, this was episode 6. We was talking about self-alignment, self-realignment, talking about manifestation and the power of manifestation. So this was episode 6.
Episode 6.
Yes,
6 to
I
move.
appreciate everybody that's been supporting. Everybody that's been supporting me, I appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment on what you got from today's message, and make sure that you have a good day.
Have a great day.
And yes.
Always remember it.
So yeah.
SOS.